We're in a period of change. Energy is changing from traditional sources like fossil fuels to renewables. And associated with renewables is its whole material science. We need to understand what happens at interfaces. We need to understand how things change through time at interfaces with respect to energy storage, transportation, and end use.
We called this the dynamic imaging lab, mainly to distinguish it from static. So think movies, think motion, think movement. Because for 40 years, imaging for the kinds of applications we're interested in has all been about static, getting ever crisper images of ever smaller features. But the applications we care about involve movements.
We can see things at very small scale, and we can see things how they change through time. So this is the key to this facility, which makes it completely unique.
This gives us an opportunity to do things you just can't do anywhere else, getting the temporal resolution of processes that matter. If you can watch the dynamics of what's happening, then you get a much more robust understanding of the process. And if you understand how the process actually works, we can get a much better understanding much faster. And then we can ask better questions and we can come up with better answers and ultimately better processes.
We want to create startups. We want to have benefit to society. We want to have end users taking advantage of the outcomes of our research. So the DIL, what it enables for us is, especially within the context of startups, it allows for them to do the material science research they need to do to discover new materials, which then become platforms within these startups to enable them to go to commercial outcomes.
At Synergreen, our technology deals with novel materials like nanoparticles, complex fluids like foams, and understanding the interaction of those materials underground is very important for us. The Dynamic Imaging Lab provides those capability for us to understand the interaction of those materials, fluids, and rock interaction, and basically observe those interactions.
Having the capabilities available to you, expertise to run things and help you understand what it is you're looking at, that's a powerful combination. And that's what we want to have in place here so that we can get those better answers faster. One of the opportunities we'll have with this facility is to help drive what we've been calling our discovery to impact pipeline. That refers to doing some basic use-inspired science in the lab and realizing, this phenomenon, this could be useful in some application. And you can turn that into the basis for a startup company and go commercialize it. And that's with a big push of what we're trying to do on this campus and in the research programs that we've been developing in the last couple of years.
A facility that we can now use going forward for, yes, energy research, which is the CERC program's mandate and the CFREF's mandate, but also it can be used for medical research, it can be used for environmental research, it can be used for basic materials research. So this DIL, what I see here is I see this being the springboard for a huge amount of outcomes coming from our research programs, enabling our researchers to do things they've never been able to do easily and being incredibly accessible.
As a startup with limited budget, this facility provides us the capability to perform a cutting-edge research that we couldn't have done otherwise.
The idea that we're not just working on our own little bit of the energy challenge is that there's this massive challenge of change that is happening, and the wonderful thing that CFREF has done is brought focus to the fact that we have to work together. Without this degree of interaction, not just within the university, but also from the external community, it's empowered this kind of research to results, to realization, and to impact to people. So personally, I'm so happy with this.
Discovering things and training these students to think not just in terms of doing great science, but doing cool science that also has a great potential application in the real world. And they're realizing they can be the change. They don't have to write the paper and hope that somebody turns it into something. They can do it. This is a great city to do that kind of work.